USD is coming under pressure today and has now broken below the 1.1750 level as fears of a political crisis in France are rising. French President Emmanuel Macron has survived to rounds of elections so far, but it looks like he may not be able to secure enough votes in the upcoming legislative elections, and this is spooking the markets. If Macron's party doesn't secure a majority in the parliament, then he would have to rely on other parties to pass his policies and reforms. And there's no guarantee that they would support him. This could lead to a political crisis and a possible collapse of the government. And this is exactly what the markets are pricing in right now. The euro initially strengthened after the first round of voting last Sunday, but it quickly reversed course and has been falling ever since. The question is, how far can the euro fall? Well, that depends on the outcome of the legislative elections next Sunday. If the polls are to be believed, then Macron's party will win the most seats, but they won't have a majority. In this case, the euro could fall further, perhaps towards the 1.1500 level. But if Macron's party wins a majority, then the euro could rebound back above 1.1800, of course. The markets are only looking ahead to next week because this weekend we have the UK's local elections and they ain't expected to have any major impact on the currency pair. Now, these elections were thrown into doubt after the terrorist attack in Manchester, but the polls suggest that it won't make much difference anyway. Labour is expected to win the most votes, but they were already expected to do that before the attack. The Conservatives, on the other hand, are expected to lose hundreds of council seats, which is bad news for Johnson just weeks before the national election. So there's plenty to watch out for in the coming days. The euro's fate, in the short term at least, will be decided by the French elections. And if the worst-case scenario unfolds, then we could see a sharp drop towards 1.150, but if Macron does secure a majority, then the euro could rally towards 1.1800. As for the pound, well, it's likely to continue its range-bound move until we get more clarity from the Bank of England. Yesterday, they sent a hawkish signal by saying that they may have to raise rates further if inflation doesn't come down. But they also warned that the economic outlook is extremely uncertain. And this is why the pound has struggled to rise above 1.500. The reality is that the bow is in a difficult position. They need to raise rates to bring down inflation, but they don't want to crush the economy. And this is why they've been so cautious in their recent communications. In any case, today's data from Germany could provide some clues about the future path of monetary policy. If inflation comes in higher than expected, then it will reinforce the case for a 50 basis point hike in July. But if inflation comes in lower, then it could allow the ECB to take a more cautious approach.